Hey, this is Jim, your GM, and we are here today with our 13th game in the Eotha Chronicles. I've got with me right now three of our players, three of our five for the evening. Two of them hopefully are going to show up. So right now, go ahead and introduce yourselves and your characters, guys. We'll start with Clyde.
Hello, I am Clyde. I will be playing the Earth Gensai. Garn is we're back. Yay. Alright, Caleb.
All right, I am playing Sir Ryan, recently titled, playing the sorcerer. He's kind of accepted a new image that is perceived of him, and he's kind of enjoying it. He's biting his teeth into it, really liking it. All right, let's go ahead and see what Eric's got.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Eric. I will be playing the friendly neighborhood half-orc barbarian druid called Kilgore Grimbear. Or for those that have watched the series from the time I've joined, his name is just simply Bear. He has been given fancy clothes, and like any other thing of the wild, has no idea what to do with them. So he figures if he ever gets a chance to go back to Sorrow's Rest, he will just put them up in his house, place. He's found a few new tactics and a new abilities, so we'll see how they work out for him.
All right. Well, guys, you have made it all the way to just within Sorrow's Rest vision. You can see it off in the distance. It's taken you 4 days if you moved quickly straight there using the main road, and it's taken 5 days if you decide to take your time a little bit more. The entire time, Flux has been very curious about the group, questioning, wanting to know more, wanting to find out more. What your responses have been, we've yet to hear. And Sir Edinburgh, being very familiar and very educated from Aletheus, if you make any mention to him that you're going to a town or a village, he will scoff at you and call you liars straight to your face, because through his years of education, there's not even a rumor on the wind that there would be a village of anything like what you're speaking of to the south of Aletheus. So you're coming within view of the town, and since we don't have them with us, what do you tell them? What do you have them do?
Um, well, I guess the Flux. Well, we're not allowing them to go in the. So we're not allowing them to go in the city, or are we keeping them, trying to find ways to not let them in?
It's whatever you want. These would be the first two people that you have ever brought back with you to Sorrow's Rest. There have been people that Ryan has talked into moving in and bringing their wares and their knowledge and their abilities with them, but these would be the first two men of their kind, other heroes, other Ma'akata, if you would, to Sorrow's Rest, and especially with the connections that Sir Edinburgh has, it could be very the potential of this city or this village getting out to the rest of the world. If you're not ready to share that or willing to share that, or maybe you don't know how the village will respond to your actually bringing these people in. If you want them to stay out of town, they can.
So Ryan would probably, since we know what we're looking for, Ryan would kind of see maybe some of the landmarks that they're familiar with. The certain patch of grass that was set on fire in that great snake and wasp battle, perhaps some other memorable places along the way. As he starts to realize that they're getting closer, he would kind of move forward and catch up to Bear and Gorn, kind of leaving behind the other two, and say, hey, I know that we're bringing them to Sorrow's Rest, but I feel like we should ease these guys in slowly.
Well, we don't have to exactly bring them in because we don't even know how the people are going to react to them. So I say we let them wait outside until we talk to the older one.
Does does that include the boy?
No, the boy comes with me.
Um, I don't think we should. I mean, they've made more than enough impression that they can be trusted. Um, and from what I understand about Sir Edinburgh's family, uh, we that's the only one that I'm kind of like iffy about introducing to know of this city, because if we're not ready to be revealed. I don't think it would be good. Either that or he asked Sir Edinburgh not to speak to his family about it.
I think that might be the best action, because I don't think there's nowhere else to stay. Edinburgh will likely simply wish to parlay into the city. Not the city, not yet.
He could stay in my old den. I'm sure the ground would be good for him.
I think it might be best just simply to try and find him some quarters to stay in while we go and seek out the Ottawan's advice on this. Perhaps he can come to town, but I think right now he does not need to be investigating. Let him know as little as possible.
Okay. Also, we should talk to the older one to judge his reaction. He may not want visitors yet.
Well, if Odoin knows that these gentlemen, that the two has helped us, I don't think he would have a problem with it. But then again, he is an old man, and you know how old people are.
You never know. And I kind of smile for a moment, and I say, I think I might have a way to keep Edinburgh busy without bringing him into town. Do you guys remember? I wonder if he's still around. Edinburgh will tell great tales, of course, of his victories and his triumphs. Back before we left, there was a man, Captain Craig. If he is still around, he might be able to keep Edinburgh busy.
I say we let Shay and Sir Edinburgh and Captain Craig all loose, and they'll entertain themselves for days.
Bear raises his brow and he goes, mentioning Shay, he just goes, "That one's a strange one." I agree with you. Let it more than ample time to. He can distract someone. He's the best distraction I ever know.
So you're going to actually bring Edinburgh into town?
Yes, but we're going to keep him at Shay's place at our bar.
Okay.
And just tell him that it's a temporary until we talk to the older one.
Are we going to bring Flux too? To Shays, I mean.
Well, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, if we was going to separate, we should have just go ahead left them both out. But yeah, let's bring them both in. They might as well see it.
I believe that Flux is a little bit more detached. I don't know that he has anybody he would go run telling. So I'm not worried about where he might stand here. If anything, he might view this blossoming town, this collection, this community, perhaps as his, and he kind of looks over his shoulder at Flux, pups.
Could be. So, onward to Sorrow's Rest.
Wonderful. And those two gentlemen will be. We'll go ahead and put them on autopilot at Shays. And speaking of Shays, when you get into town, you find that there is that Shays Place. You find that there are people coming in and out of it. You are in its evening time. The sun has yet to set, but it is setting very soon, already throwing beautiful colors of orange and purples across the the dark blue sky on the other to the east. There is the wonderful sign which we have all grown to love, if I could find it, which now just became unimportant. Yay, because I can't find it. But you see the sign of Sorrow's Rest built as part of the house with the smoke coming from it. And, sorry, I'm having tea in my teeth. Shay actually walks out with the man, laughing with him, pats him on the back, sends him on his way, and just is having a fantastic moment, turns and sees you. Hi! Now what are you doing here? What? I got your letter. He comes walking up to you. I got your letter. What happened?
I'm glad to see you got the letter and you got the hell out of town. Something bad went down, but I think we came out for the better.
You sure look like it. Looking you up and down with your fancy white robe, red trimmed clothes. Who's this weird one here? You! I've heard of you. You're that Edinburgh fellow. And he has a quick conversation with him, showing that Edinburgh's name has carried to even the people that you haven't spoken to. Edinburgh is a very, very well-known man in Olathe. So, back to the rest of you. So what I need to do? What's going on? I mean, I don't know. Fuck me. What do you need?
We need you to house these two until we speak to the older one, and then we'll move from there.
House them for free? No,
Yeah.
they can stay in your rooms.
Okay.
Well, that was easy. All right, good. So you follow me. I'm going to set them up with food. You boys need to come by when you're finished. So that Masalik you sent back has finally showed up. I mean, yesterday morning. I'm surprised you didn't follow the smell all the way here of all of those creatures he brought with him. And he said he went to market and sold some of the food, some of his crops, but brought a lot with him. Only just showed up. He gave me some to figure out what I can do with it, and his daughter's in here helping cook too, if you know what I mean. So you come with me. And it's the three of you guys standing in front of the door.
I look at the other guys when Shay walks back in. I says, for some reason, I'm never a dull day without one.
I don't think he would allow it.
I agree.
Says, well, if you guys want to take the boy and go see Odwin, I have some business I need to take care of. I'm going to go see Valsifar at the Rhine Forge.
Bear's like, well, everybody's got something to do when we head back home. Ask her, and I'll follow. I will decide to follow Garn.
Yes, I'll take. What is this kid's name?
Now his name is. Let me see. His name is Azatklon.
Azatklon. We're gonna call him Az for short. This.
I figured.
Okay. So, me and Az will go, and Bear will go see the older one and see if Woad is here.
It's like walking down a memory. You see how buildings have been splashed with color. There is just a warmness, a welcoming of coming to Sorrow's Rest. And as if your feet know where to go, your mind is distracted by seeing the people you remember, people running up to you, giving you big hugs, so excited to see the both of you, eyeing the kid suspiciously, or oddly, or distractedly, because this kid looks just as odd and striking as the day that they first saw Garn. And your feet carry you straight to the Odowin's now longhouse. It is no longer a pavilion, but a large, closed-off, two-story building.
Looks like somebody got a
Well,
house.
at least it's upgraded. I will uh, make my way there and push open the door. And if there's anybody in there, ask them if the older one is busy.
When you open the door, there are you come into an actually furnished uh, furnished area. There's not necessarily padded seats yet, but there's a table. You recognize this as being the table that the Odwin has always used. There are benches set up along the walls. There are stools. There are other tables that are smaller being used where other conversations are going on. But you will actually find in the center, at the large table, Odwin and Fletcher. And they do not look up when you come in.
I will have Az sit down on one of the stools, and I will walk over to where the older one is, and when their conversation breaks, I will like, how is Sorrow's Rest doing now?
At the sound of your voice, a smile comes across his face. He looks up. Garn Stonehelm, if I... Wow! It has been a long time, my friend. What brings you back to Sorrow's Rest? He comes over to you and gives you a big hug. Bear! Reaches out a hand for you. Welcome home.
Eric kind of chuckles and takes his hand and squeezes it, shaking his hand. Good to see you too.
Have you seen? Is Woad here?
Yes, Woad is here. Well, he doesn't look the way that he did last time you saw him. But yes, Woad is here. Why? Oh, strange that you would show up asking for him just a day after he came back from, well, the south.
Well, I found one of my wayward kin, and I have more questions for him.
So this fellow over here, he's family?
I guess since we're probably the last. I guess we are family, connected by some force.
Well, Sorrow's Rest was founded by refugees. And if you bring him here, he's good enough for us.
Oh, okay. I'll motion for Az to come over, and I'll tell him that this is the older one. He leads our village.
Az looks up at him, nods to him, and is just standing looking between the three of you curiously.
Bear, why don't you take Az and introduce him to the stick game that you play with the rest of the kids? I have I have a conversation that I need to have with Woad.
Bear will nod, kind of picking at Gar and says, "It's not a stick game. It's called Defender." He goes, "Come, Az. We will play Defender." And he looks back at Az. He goes, "Let's go."
And Az will follow you right out. As the door shuts behind you, the other one looks over at you, Garn. Conversation you need to have with me. You make it sound like I'm in trouble.
No, but I'll take my great axe and lay it across the table, and I'll take my dagger. I says, no, but I need you to hold on to these, because I don't trust myself at this time. Is Woad still here? Where's Woad at?
Well, Woad is in the back. He's been sleeping in my chambers.
Thank you. Okay. Did the cucumbers get here?
Yes, they did. I have never tasted anything like that.
Salt.
I knew it had to come from one of you.
Salt. Put salt on it. It is awesome.
Salt
Salt.
on cucumbers.
Yes.
Okay. He's completely distracted. He thought he was in trouble, and now you're talking about how to make these cucumbers that you sent taste better. Okay.
I will knock on the. I'll leave the older one, and I will walk wherever his room is, unless he wants to come and show me. But I need. His place has changed.
When you were last here, it was set up like a giant pavilion with posts holding up a slanted roof. Now, you would have to be directed, but he'll take you right to it. And while he does that, and you're knocking on the door, Rhine over at the Rhine Forge.
So I would come in. Are there doors on this thing, or is it still an open pavilion type?
Do you remember the Theater of Anvils?
Yeah.
Where it was, the entire front was open with the forge, and then the back was the building. The way he's got it set up is actually there is the entire what was a small pavilion as well has been made 3/4 of it into a home with the forge on the side of it.
And so the first thing,
the forge is still on the exterior.
So Ryan kind of walks up, and at the time, he's probably clanging something out or moving something from the fire into the water. He's got his back turned to Ryan, and Ryan just says, "The Rhine Forge looks like it's coming together nicely."
I haven't heard that voice in months. Ryan, how are you doing?
Well, Valsafar, about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. He's wiping his hands off on his front apron. What brings you back home?
Aha. Well, we found part of what we were looking for. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure in no time you'll see for yourself, friend.
Do you need me to put something back together for you?
Not this time, as far as I know.
Very well. Very well.
So I came. I wanted to. The two main things I wanted to ask you. First of all, it looks like the city's doing great, and I'm sure that's in no small part of your own.
Well, I will say, this man who brought the food, and he called them cows. It was strange. But then before him, only by a couple of weeks, a younger man, and as he says, younger man, the door from the door that leads into his home